If we show this today here at Anfield against Liverpool, that is first in the league, why we can't do this every week?
Big man, we are all sat over here asking the same thing. What was expected to be one of the most one-sided matches you'll end up seeing all year turned out to be the exact opposite. Fate forgot to factor in a few calculations, it seems. There aren't a lot of teams out there that can look like a first division side during the week to playing on par with the best team on the continent a couple of days later. I'm going to tell my grandkids that this is Manchester United heritage. Liverpool are true to their name as second half FC. They just keep getting better at doing what they do, but they also continue to show us that the name highlights why they're not perfect just yet. They say Trent Alexander-Arnold is unaffected by the Real Madrid rumors. Chief, I don't know about that one. Harry Maguire, I can never be mad that you missed in this position, but
we were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Then again, in his defense,
we mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining!
With these heroics, Manchester United did a marvellous job of climbing all the way up to 13th. I used to pray for times like this. But it wasn't without the help of both Liverpool and City using West Ham as targeting practice. Manchester City are back to winning ways. Back-to-back wins is a rare thing to come by. Chelsea are back to non-winning ways, winless in 4. That didn't used to be so rare, but I guess now it is. I guess they were right about downplaying the title aspirations. Saliba's over here channeling his inner Zidane, and Arsenal continues to drop points in unusual ways. It's all very odd. What's up? Hope you're well. Haven't seen you since last year. Welcome back. I was sick over New Year's and I lost my voice completely. You can probably hear it's not 100% just yet, but we're getting there. And that's also why the Dalglish video I was talking about had to be put on hold, but it's being edited as we speak, so don't worry about that one. In the meantime though, I'm going to put a poll in the comments for you guys to just tell me which video you want to be posted later on this week. My 2025 resolution is to really try and build out the community aspect of this channel, make it a bit more interactive, post more videos, a lot of different types of content, maybe even start streaming in some sort of way. Maybe not watch-alongs because I don't have the attention span for that, but we'll see. The variety keeps things interesting for me, and I would assume it keeps things interesting for you guys because I haven't stuck to one format at all in the 4+ years that I've been doing this now, so thank you guys. Onwards and upwards. Back to the matter at hand. As I said, my voice was struggling even before the new year, and I'm actually quite happy that it was, because if it wasn't, then I probably would have had a lot of things to say about the horrendous performance against Newcastle. If I ever have to look at a starting team sheet with Casemiro and Christian Eriksen as the starting dynamic midfield two, I might just start acting up. What we can see from an Amorim setup is that the main components here that make things tick is energy, focus, and coordination. If you don't have any one of those three at all, you're kind of down and out. Unfortunately for Joshua Zirkzee, the man seems to be lacking in all of those things. Maybe somebody that's been watching Joshua Zirkzee more closely over the years, especially last year at Bologna, can fill me in with, you know, what I'm missing here, because this surely can't be the player that Man United spent the big bucks for. I was told that United were getting a sleek, decisive player with a lovely first touch. So why are we already seeing rumors of a loan deal back to Italy? Listen, I know that rumors don't actually mean that much, especially right now. We are in an active transfer window and a lot of journalists do make up the bulk of their annual wages in these periods. But you know what they say about where there's smoke? They say there's fire. In case any of you have never heard of the saying before. Liverpool just came off the back of a win that was as convincing as ever. 5-0, 5 different scorers away from home. Life really doesn't get much better than that, you know? I find myself more regularly asking one question these days, and that's, where would Liverpool be without the Netherlands? They owe them everything. All the while 3 of their biggest stars are yet to be confirmed as staying on into the next season, although I think that for everyone, bar probably Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's kind of a matter of when rather than if. However, I must say, Trent Alexander-Arnold is doing an astonishing audition for free agency. More on that in a bit. With this match, we all know it kind of goes either way sometimes. Recently, Liverpool have been the team that's in the ascendancy, always going into the game as favourites, but you know, nothing's ever guaranteed. And even at times when Manchester United are the team that looks overall better, Liverpool always have a chance to put 7 past them. And I also can't believe that you people just reminded me of that. That's bullying. I'm reporting your account. You should be ashamed. But I'm also going to say this, I'm going to get it out the way right here. I don't think that this result should give us any hope or any sort of indication of what future performances might look like. The notion of a big rivalry match like this one, just like a big rivalry match between United and City just a couple weeks ago, is pretty much like steroids. It gives you a boost, but Lord knows that it's not permanent, and a lot of the time, you end up being a lot worse off than you were when you first took this stuff. Next match was Arsenal at the Emirates, So let's get into the details, shall we? Liverpool started slow, only about 2 big chances in the first half, which is a lot at Premier League level, but is also not that much when it comes to how well Liverpool have been playing and how badly United have been playing. Gakpo and Gravenberch combined very early, and then McAllister and Salah did the same. Both times, probably should have scored. The slow start wasn't that surprising to me, and also shouldn't be that surprising to anyone that's been watching lately, because it's always kind of like the calm before the storm for Liverpool. They lull you into thinking that you're in the game, and then boom. But what was surprising was how well United responded and how well they were pressing in the first half. Loads of energy and controlled movements. There was a very clear mandate, from where I was watching at least, for them to be overly aggressive, flying into tackles that I don't think they needed to be as physical in. There was also another clear mandate to focus directly on the left-hand side and target Trent Alexander-Arnold with both Diogo Dalot and Bruno Fernandes. And I must say that this strategy was working so well. Fernandes and Dalot were baiting Trent Alexander-Arnold all game, and if a team that could actually cross consistently well from the left were playing Liverpool yesterday, they might have had some really big problems. Trent was making Diogo Dalot look like prime CR7 out there. Meanwhile, Trent himself was looking more like Justin Hoyt. And you might think that's a weird comparison to make. Moreover, you might not even remember who Justin Hoyt is. That's because Ronaldo did this to him in 2008 against Arsenal, and he never played for Arsenal ever again. It's a joke, obviously. It's a bit extreme. Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the best right backs to ever grace the Premier League, one of the best strikers of a ball to grace the Premier League, but he did not look like that yesterday, I'll tell you that much. In the 19th minute was the first cooking by Dalot. He gets past Alexander-Arnold too easily and just puts too much whip on the ball to Ahmad. Should have been 1-0 to United, if we're all being honest. Look at this man. Is he even trying? A thing that we've seen about United that comes up time and time again, especially under Amorim, is how hard they find it to play against teams that play with 3 in the midfield, especially with those 2 players in United's midfield that don't actually know where to stand and what to do. We saw it happen against Newcastle, we saw it happen against Bournemouth, even though in Bournemouth's case they were playing a 4-2-3-1, and I think it was Justin Kluivert who was going back into the midfield to add to that space. The way United and Amorim seem to try to counteract that is making sure those 2 number 10s do not flake on their defensive responsibilities and track back properly. But that doesn't work if only one of them is doing it, i.e. Bruno Fernandes, which is why I was convinced before this match we might be about to see a bloodbath, because we have Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Curtis Jones, all players that are not afraid to play in their own penalty area and then be in the opponent's penalty area in a couple seconds. But United surprised me. They did something that most teams have failed to do against Liverpool this season. They denied them space, which is a sentence that I can't believe just came out of my mouth. Mainoo and Ugarte can work wonders. Ugarte is almost always good, and Mainoo is still only 19. There's lots of time, and if this performance is anything to go by, they will come right. But like I said, I don't know if it is for sure. I know in these videos I usually talk about the events of the match in consecutive order, but right now I want to focus on first United's 2 goals and then Liverpool's 2 goals, because the genesis, especially for United, the genesis of their goals, I think kind of came from the same place, so it's worth clumping them together. Trent was struggling the entire game. Connor Bradley only came on for him late in the game. I do not know why Slot didn't take him off earlier. Is it because Bradley is not fit? Or I don't know, maybe Liverpool fans, you can tell me. Trent was a walking liability from the very first whistle. His passes weren't coming off. For a player of his quality that's so widely admired, it was awful to watch. For a Man United fan, hey, do it again. I heard a sonic boom from a fist bump all the way in Madrid because Liverpool rejected their first bid. That performance ensured 10 million euros in savings, at least. First goal. After being shafted all game, Dalot glides down the left again. And what I'm about to talk about right now is the best passage of play that I've seen from a United side under Ruben Amorim, and it's not even close in my eyes. It was everything. It made me believe in so many things. It made me believe that maybe I will actually hit my New Year's resolution goals. But it's also what I'm going to keep in mind when I think about what this team is capable of when they actually try. Van Dijk collects after a poor cross, and then every United player synchronizes beautifully. Mainoo pressures Gravenberch, who offloads to Alexander-Arnold. Bruno charges at Trent as he attempts to clear. Martinez makes sure his poor clearance doesn't get to Salah. And then Captain Fernandes takes advantage of a Liverpool side who clearly do not know what's what at this point. Alexander-Arnold and Salah barely attempt to get the ball off him, and Martinez drifts in behind. It's a finish you'd expect from Aguero, not Martinez. Bruno Fernandes is a divisive player. You'll hear no arguments from me on that part. I complain about him quite a lot, especially when he gets himself sent off unnecessarily. Some people call it passion, I call it petulance. But when he plays like he did against Liverpool, which quite frankly is how he plays most of the time, you can see why he's an untouchable in this side. The confidence to attempt some of the feints and the flicks that he did, and for them to actually come off, is the sign of a man that was on a mission to drive his side across the finish line. Second goal. Again, Liverpool clear the ball poorly, and the ball eventually falls to Fernandes. Where's the man in space? On the left side. Konate is closest, so he has to deal with the threat. Garnacho crosses, and who else but the man who taught Messi everything he knows about life converts the goal. It was brave, it was quick, it was impressive, it was unlike anything we've seen from United over the last couple of weeks, months, years, all of that. And here they are scoring goals against Anfield, who they usually can't score against, and probably could have scored more. Now we go on to Liverpool. Them scoring was never in doubt. It was more a question of when and how, and also how much. I mentioned earlier on about how United took advantage of confusion at the back for Liverpool, and in a sense did a Liverpool on Liverpool. And the reason for that became very apparent about 7 minutes later after United scored that goal, when Liverpool did exactly that. Now, some of you might not agree with me, but I definitely consider the first goal that United conceded as a set-piece sequence, something that United have struggled with so much this year, and they did it again over here. Trent whips it in, and United clear, but there's disorganization there now. Within 3 seconds, McAllister sweeps it into Gakpo, and he's in a very dangerous position. Also, look right here at Van Dijk blocking De Ligt's line of sight for Gakpo's run. Perfectly legal, definitely deliberate as he slightly steps into him, and it works. By the time Gakpo's on the ball, any reaction by De Ligt is too late. He sends his fellow countrymen back to the homeland with a cutback, and what a lovely finish it is. Like I said, I classify that as a set-piece goal. Could have done better. I hope one day we actually get to hear what Slot tells his guys at halftime to get them all fired up when they come out, because it really is like playing two different sides. They were cranking up the pressure so much after that first goal, it was just inevitable that the ball was going to get sucked in at some point. They got Trent into some of the positions that they want him to be in, rather than the ones that he's in when he's a liability, and it worked wonders. It was his cross that led to De Ligt, who was only still returning from the Shadow Realm, handling it. It is obviously a handball, his hand shouldn't be there. 2-1. But even after surrendering the lead, the team kept fighting on, and it's what we all want to see. But like I said, I don't see this as any sort of declaration for future performances and how things are going to pan out. It was just a really big fixture that gets the blood pumping until proven otherwise. So just some general notes about the game that I wrote down that I want to cover, but that I don't think that I've spoken about just yet, just so I don't forget them. First off, Højlund. The man needs to improve his general play. So many times he was seen as the outball and he just miscontrols it. When he has the ball under his control, he's kind of like doing these weird tricks and back heels and chops and I don't know, not really progressing it in any sort of way, not holding it up. It's weird. And he also does tend to take too many touches when he's in the box, when he's through on goal and he should be shooting. I put this down to nerves, but sometimes I feel like he doesn't have the exact answer of how he's going to finish it based on the different scenarios that he's in the box. And there was a moment late in the first half where he takes one too many touches, he decreases the angle that he can shoot at, he's on the left-hand side and Alisson is rushing him, and then he shoots it straight into Alisson. And then there were some more moments later on, I think this happened 2 times that I counted, but I think it could have been more, where the ball was crossed in from the left-hand side and Bruno Fernandes was kind of telling him to get in front of Van Dijk because nothing gets past Van Dijk, but he decided to rather gamble on the ball getting past Van Dijk and him getting a shot on goal, which was never going to happen. Great player, but obviously a lot to improve on. Okay, next up, Gravenberch is a smooth operator. I know this has kind of been his breakthrough year for Liverpool and there's a lot been made about it, but we can't stress it enough. This guy is a baller. He was having a good battle with Mainoo in the midfield at certain points, but he came out on top for sure. When he drops that shoulder, Mainoo stood no chance. The man is a gem. Salah is the most inevitable player in the world. What do we all expect, to be fair? Michael Oliver, brother. He's had worse games, of course, but there were a couple of instances here in calls that I just don't understand. The first of which was a Harry Maguire yellow card, which came on the edge of the box for Liverpool. He very clearly wins the ball over here. Look at how close this man is standing to the tackle. I have no idea how this happened. The second one is Darwin Núñez straight up charging into Matthijs de Ligt. He has absolutely no intention of playing the ball here. The only thing on his mind is violence. He got a yellow card for this. I don't know if that should be enough. Onana was very good on corners, I thought, very commanding, except for one corner where he was getting crowded by Van Dijk and Gakpo specifically, but other than that, they've clearly been working on this and it's showing. Okay, last two. Lenny Euro. We haven't seen that much of him yet, but every time he comes on, he makes some sort of last-ditch Hollywood-type tackle, and I feel like he's gonna come very, very right. And the last one, I wish that I can find a snip of this, but I could not. Diogo Dalot's yellow card at the end of the first half for holding Alexis McAllister. I think it was McAllister. It's like he was trying to reenact the Titanic. That is not Rose, bro. You are not Leo, that is Alexis from Argentina. All in all, a wonderful match for United fans, for Liverpool fans, for neutrals, worthy of the hype. Liverpool remain at the top of the table, 6 points ahead, and United remain in the bottom half. Best chance for Champions League football is still the Europa League, which is of course a long shot, but you never know. Okay, on to what's been going on elsewhere. In my mind, the biggest losers of the weekend are Arsenal. I only caught the last 30 minutes or so of their game against Brighton, but they're just not fun or entertaining to watch anymore. And ironically, Arteta's decision to focus on not losing games is what's lost them the title, yet again. And I say lost because it's already over. It doesn't help that their two most important players have been struggling through injury all season, but I think it goes deeper than that. They're not fluid anymore. Thomas Partey is out here time wasting in the final seconds of a game just so Arsenal can hang on to a precious point, even though they're supposedly in a title race. It kind of gives me the vibes of Arsene Wenger back when their only objective was to finish high and not take too many risks. The only difference was that the football, most of the time at the very least, was entertaining and innovative to watch. This season, it hasn't been at all for Arteta. Let me know your thoughts, Arsenal fans. So, Chelsea haven't won a game in 4 games. The latest result is a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace. We all make our jokes, but put all the title challenge jokes to the side and everything. I still think Chelsea are way ahead of schedule with their project right now and should be really happy with the progress they've been making. But they should also be upset with their recent stretch of results. I mean, these are all matches that I think they should be winning. Last season when they had their hot streak, I remember saying on here that they should be expecting to take maximum points from all of these games and really legitimize themselves in the title race, put pressure on people, whatever. They haven't done it. I won't lie, I only saw highlights of the Palace match, didn't watch it live, so I'm not going to comment too much on what I think the problem is, but if it was anything like the Ipswich match, which I did watch, these guys have simply forgotten how to finish, get frustrated, drop their heads, concede, rinse and repeat. I remember saying that Nicholas Jackson was a good player and still improving, but that Chelsea shouldn't rely on him to finish chances, and a lot of people were mad at me. It's a weird world we live in. But the weirdest thing of all is Manchester City are winning games again. I don't like this. You don't like this. But it is what it is. I did watch this match and what I can tell you is that they have not fixed their problems. Their fullbacks are still being drawn out of position left, right and center and getting exposed. They could have been 2-0 down very easily within 10 minutes. But credit where credit is due. Once City found their feet, they just started running rampant. West Ham did not stand a chance after that. The title is gone, but I still think that these guys can rack up some serious points, probably finish second if we're all being honest. Savinho was having a game and a half. He's very good, that man. Chelsea are in a bad patch, but they are doing better than most, and now my suspicions have been confirmed. They must have done some sort of deal with the devil to ensure at least one big London club remains down in the dumps. It's another game I didn't watch live, but I know Spurs are missing their entire back line and first and second choice keepers. From the looks of it, Son was on the bench, Maddison was on the bench, Newcastle are reaching 2022 form, so you would have expected them to win this game. And honestly, 2-1, I thought it would be worse. Spurs took the lead in the 4th minute, but that only lasted until the 6th minute. I kind of feel bad for Postecoglou, but I also think he's not doing himself any favors with his approach. Tough. At the time of recording this video, Nottingham Forest have not played, but are still in 3rd place with a goal difference of +7. Now, I will 1000% be watching their game versus Wolves and will likely be talking about them pretty soon, but like I said, if you guys want me to talk about them in the next video, which will come out later this week, you can let me know in the comments. I'll be doing a poll type thing to try it out, see what you guys think. I believe the two options are Barcelona and Nottingham Forest. When was the last time you heard them two in the same sentence? I think this might be my first. And there we have it. Happy to be back for the new year. Compliments my friends. Let me know what you guys think about the current season, the trajectory, what's going to happen. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.